Yeah, what's up, kings and queens? We're back again, and as usual, we're going to the Mayweather case to see what sense can we make out of it. Now, what we're going to do is watch Esbaloi stand up and frivolously object to what Muniz is trying to put across. We know that Muniz is busy with the leading of the evidence of accused number one, which is Musicaule Sibiya, and at present, he's going through the paces, taking him throughout the paces as from his arrest to the day of his first appearance, and now we are also hearing about the time that Musi was going out. There was even some time that he went out for what Munisi said was probably about 5 to 8 hours, which they spent out there with the police, and then the police offered him no food. Now, Baloi stood up and tried to object to that, saying that no, uh, the OBs says what, and then Munisi was quick to cut him off and say, no, I'm not talking about the OBs. I'm not even objecting to what the OBs are saying. I'm just relating to the court and also allowing this guy, Mr. Sibiya, a chance to relay his story and his point of view and what happened to him on that day, whether he was able to receive food or whether the police offered him any food, which we found out they did not. Now, the funny thing is, Balui, like if you can count all of Balui's objections, I think there were two or three today, all of them frivolous. They were really, they really meant nothing. So now, what do? We just have to let, because he knows that uh, it's the story is getting clearer and clearer from the side of accused number two. I mean, accused number one. Sorry. I mean, if you can remember most of these things that were happening to him, what makes you think that these things could be made up in his mind? And the sad part is when he now had to recall being taken to his village, home village, to his mother's place, and then to his father. He first met his siblings, his father, and then when he was supposed to talk about his mother, that's when he broke down. It was a sad case of affairs because you think about it too, like these cops have just uh, put a bad name across your name, across to your mother, and your mother is there sitting thinking, I've been looking for my son for the past few days, only to find out that the cops have got him. I didn't have any idea. So now the cops are coming, they're telling him this and this, and they're accusing him of unaliving Senzo Meiwa. It's a problem. He's faced with the dilemma. Now, let's watch a little bit of what was going on, and I'll come back with what went on today, right? With my little bit of analysis. Here is when the judge, not the judge actually, Balui was objecting to that first incident when they were talking about the food, right? The cops spent the whole amount of days with you, but you were not offered any food. Let's hear. It's just right in the beginning, I think.
Okay, fine. All right, no problem. Yes. Is it you recording?
Ah, come on. Sorry for that. Yeah, let's go. I stopped it. Let me just proceed with it.
Thank you, Mr. Sibiya. In essence, that is what happened on the 30th. Um, then that is now on the 5th of June 2020, where you were taken to those areas for which Mr. Khatebe were some points appointed at allegedly by you. Thank you. There's one aspect when I was thinking about this whole movement of you with the police that struck me, and not that this is the state version, but you have mentioned on several occasions, then you've been out with the police, and then for further investigation, I'll call it investigation, on more than 3 occasions. You have not spoken about you having been offered food or drink by the police, not so. Manje-ke akumelile kwenumbona ukhulumile ngamahlandla amaningi ahlukene la amaphoyisa akhipha khona ngaphakathi kweyiseke police station ahamba nawo elibangisela ekulungisa khona-ke sekuthi naphinda nabuya namahambo kwesibili nabuya nahambo kwesithathu naphela nabuya. Kepha-ke akukhulumi akunalutho okukhulumile mayelana nodaba lokuthi bakuthengele ukudla noma-ke amanzi noma kwenzakalayo. Abakaze bengithengele ukudla, akaze bengithengele amanzi. They never bought me food and they never bought me water. Nangihamba nje ngize ngibuye ngidle e-police station la bengihlala khona. I would live with them and I would return back to the police station where I was detained. That is where I used to get food at the police station where I was detained. Notably, my attention is drawn to what happened on the 5th of June, where according to the registers, the police registers, you left the police station at 1 minute past 8 in the morning, and you came back at 1 minute past 6 in the evening. That is almost 12 hours.
Now, another frivolous objection that was raised was when Nisi was trying to get out of Sibiya. What was he trying to tell the court during his first appearance when the magistrate shut him down and said, "No, I'm not allowing you to take over, to hijack these proceedings and say what you want to say." So, what did you want to say then to the magistrate? Balo, he stood up again with that frivolous standing. I mean, it's like he's just standing up. I mean, he doesn't understand where the question is going. He's standing up. He's just trying to. I don't know what he's trying to prevent. It's a shame. Now, on it happened that Mr. Nis, Advocate Nis, finished his cross-examination today. It was done. In fact, he's leading off the evidence by accused number one. It is done today. Now it was supposed to be Baloi or whoever Sibanda cross-examining accused number one. Now the problem is that guy was tired, kind of tired, right? So they had to adjourn. Tomorrow is going to be uh, another thing. It's going to be Baloi with Sibiya, and then it's going to go down. Now let's move away from this case a little bit, but not really moving away because the person that we will be talking about next is still just as much attached to this case as the persons that we just spoke about, Mr. Mnisi and Sibiya and Balu. That he's just attached. Now, he was at the ad hoc committee yesterday, answering questions from MPs and stuff like that. The problem is, he there's one thing that I wanted to pick out from him when he said he lambasted Mukwana. Say everywhere you look on TikTok, everywhere is Mukwanas. He's the only provincial commissioner who's doing that. Nobody's allowed. Nobody knows that he's allowed. Nobody else is allowed. He's the only one who's got the nation against Sibiya, blah blah blah. When he looks about himself, he found out it's AI driven, what, TikTok videos about him. They combine the Senzo Mewa case and all the mishaps that he has had. He's found that he has the mishaps. The mishaps are there. He's been suspended. He's been for the rendition and all that. He's been through a whole lot of things. Now, what I wanted to point out about this was it's fresh coming from Sibiya talking about somebody being on TikTok, and when he was on a documentary, he was on Netflix. He was on Netflix himself. So you want to be only one, the only policeman who's on media channels and stuff, doing stuff like that. So he's jealous, or is this jealous or what? But I could sense there's some kind of jealousy and war going on within these two guys because he would tell you that he didn't know Brown Mokhosi. He later came to know him. He only had one breakfast with him, but whatever information that Brown Mokhosi was giving him, he was using it to survive. Now that's kind of questionable coming from Sibiya because when he's asked why didn't he like try to question or be scared or be wondering, be worried about where does this guy get from, which is sort of classified. And he said he knew that this information is classified, but he was not worried as long as this guy was helping him, so-called helping him. Anyway, guys, let me not take too much of time. See, Sibiya contradicted himself a lot, and he was kind of combative. Now, I want you to point out something from Sibiya and Mkonazi, a market difference, right? He even had to be asked for his input on this. Mkonazi made some recommendations to the committee on what should be done and on what he suggests could be done to better the services, the SAPS services, the SAP services, right? South African Police Services. He made recommendations. What did Mkhwana see? In fact, the Sibiya do. The Sibiya never came up with any kind of plausible recommendation. The only recommendation that is coming across is just to disband the political killing test team. And he's even cagey when he's being asked about his subordinate uh, kind of not following orders from the national commissioner when they were ordered to do something which she did not do. She did not do, and then a conclusion can be drawn that she did not do it because uh, Sibiya was fighting so hard for this lady, saying that no, she had to do it because Mukwanazi had already gone to the media and said the doctors were close to, some of them were close to arrest and what. So he wanted to preserve them in that state so that they can show that Mkhwanazi was lying somehow. In a way, he was saying that. So that's why the lady didn't do it. But you can hear that it was an order from him telling this lady, don't do it. We want this guy, we want to show them that there's no arrest that are ready here with these doctors as Mkhwanazi is claiming. Anyway, guys, it's fine. I'm not going to take too much of your time. I just wanted to show you, to throw out a few of these glaring uh, facts about, in fact, opinions about Mkhwanazi, Sibiya. So before we go, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so that when we drop more content like this, you are in the loop. Peace.